I'm Karen Morris, and I want to help you have conversations that have some depth, with the hope that you may get to talk about your faith in Jesus. This simple idea originally came from Rebecca Manley Pippert, and I call it the conversation spiral. Here's how it works. When we're talking to our friends, workmates, classmates, our conversations tend to bounce from topic to topic at a superficial level, and we rarely seem to talk about anything personal or at any depth. And there are a huge number of topics that we discuss: politics, sport, relationships, recreation, school, parenting, home renovations, work, music, clubs, gardening, books, TV shows, friends, study, parties, stress, busyness, movies, shopping. But none of these conversations seem to lead to Jesus, or even to the deeper questions of life. Pippert suggests that in most of our conversations we're just talking about the general questions of the topic. But to delve deeper, we need to talk about the specific questions, and then maybe reach the God questions. Let me explain those terms. General questions are obvious. They're what everybody is talking about. Specific questions are to do with the heart of the person, their feelings about the topic, the impact on them personally. The God questions are to do with values, ethics, the meaning of life, and maybe even God. One person helpfully described this as the external, internal, and eternal questions. Of course, any conversation is dependent on the person you're actually talking to, and any questions you ask have to relate to that person particularly. Are they a co-worker, a medical person, an older person, a student, or a sports person? Here are some examples of sets of questions. With a co-worker, you might have a conversation that goes like this. What do you think about that celebrity losing their way? Have you ever lost your way? Where do you go if you lose your way? With an older person, it might be like this. How do you keep healthy? How has your self-worth changed? Have you found a different source of self-worth? Or with a student, you might have this conversation. In what situations do you see discrimination? Have you personally been discriminated against? How can we achieve a society free of discrimination? Now, I'm not suggesting that you memorize sets of questions to dump on the person you're talking to. Rather, I'm suggesting a new way of thinking about conversations. And I'm suggesting you train your brain into this new way of thinking by developing sets of questions. This practice will help you think more clearly in the middle of conversations. So, choose a few topics from this list and write down a set of 3 questions, general, specific, and God questions, for each one. After you've developed some sets of questions, observe the way the technique could apply in your next conversations. And if you can't think of general, specific, and God questions on the spot, then go home and write out some questions that you might have used in that conversation. Eventually it will come naturally. And above all, keep praying for your friends. If you want more ideas on explaining your faith, check out my website at graphicfaith.org.au. You can contact me there if you get stuck and can't figure out how to use the conversation spiral.